is Matt Holdzcom. I'm a collections assistant in reference services at the Indiana Historical Society, and today I'm going to tell you all about Indiana circuses and the Ringlings. That's a bad word, and I'll tell you why. But first, I guess I have to do this. I'm going to try to pick one that has a few seeds in it, but I don't think... Here goes nothing. Ugh. The Hagenbeck-Wallace Circus from Peru, Indiana, had been in direct rivalry with the Ringling Brothers since about 1907, when it was created. But they were not just regular business rivals. They were ideologically opposed to each other. The Wallace Circus, like virtually every other circus at this time, practiced grift. The circus would have to give the city boss and his family a bunch of free tickets, and the boss's buddies and all of their families had to get free tickets. Why are these things existing? So grift was kind of like a kickback. The city boss said, in exchange for all these free passes, oh heavens, mercy. I could feel it coming out of my ears. In exchange for these free passes, the city boss would allow grift to happen on the circus lot. Now this is shortchanging. This is a sure thing gambling. So you really had to watch your back and watch your pocketbook when you're on the circus lot. Why? Because the local politicians had given the circus permission to steal from you, so that he could have an unobstructed view at the circus. Well, Ringlings didn't participate in any of this. They were above all that. They absorbed the cost of the free tickets, hiked up the price of concessions. Some people say they had skinnier elephants. In the progressive era of the early 20th century, this sort of thing began to decline. But after World War I, three things happened. One, the Ringlings combined with the Barnum and Bailey Circus, which they had owned since December 1906. Two, the American Circus Corporation was formed in Peru, Indiana. And this was Hagenbeck-Wallace Circus, Sells Floto Circus, John Robinson. And it was done by Ed Ballard, proprietor of the West Baden Springs Hotel and Casino, Jerry Muggerman, Terre Haute native, very slippery cat, railroad butcher, and his partner Burt Bowers, and they had been collecting circuses. All these things added up to an open door for graft. So the door was open for the American Circus Corporation in Peru, Indiana to have the upper hand. Throughout the 1920s, Ringlings and the American Circus Corporation were at each other's throats. They did everything they could to harass each other. Anyway, in 1929, new ownership at Madison Square Garden in New York wanted to interrupt the Ringlings' traditional month-long stand with boxing every Friday night. So it would be circus, 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 boxing, and then circus, circus again. John Ringling, the last surviving Ringling brother, was offended by this. He was not about to mix his circus with prize fighting. But he was on the board of directors of Madison Square Garden. He let the matter drop. He figured they'd come around eventually. What happens? The American Circus Corporation from Peru swoops in. They say, sure, we'd be happy to let you have your boxing matches on Friday nights. No problem. They got the contract. Well, Ringling heard about this. He was absolutely furious. He wasn't about to let his long, profitable tradition of opening a Madison Square Garden be ruined by those scoundrels from Peru, Indiana. So what he did do, he borrowed $1.7 million, and he bought the whole ball of wax. Everything in Peru went to John Ringling. He owned every major circus in the world for a short time. So it would seem that Ringling wins, but not so much. 6 weeks later, Black Tuesday, stock market crash. The Great Depression, circuses did not do so well. John Ringling defaulted on his loan, lost control of the circuses. People in Peru say that because they were gamblers, the Peru folks saw all the warning signs of the stock market. Since 1927, the stock market had been kind of shaky. Those gamblers' instincts kicked in, and they knew they should sell. So during the Depression, Hagenbeck Wallace did surprisingly well under Ringling management. But anyway, by World War II, all of the American Circus Corporation shows from Peru had folded. In 1941, Ringling management burned 120-some circus wagons that were kept at Peru. So now you know the story of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus and how it became practically synonymous with the word circus in this country. And I'm glad I got to tell you, but it's too bad that I had to eat that devil plant. Can I have the milk, please? Thank you.